First up is Miss Vivian, an S-rank ether anomaly agent. In combat, Vivian uses her parasol and sword to attack enemies. After repeatedly attacking enemies, Vivian enters the noblewoman state, and by pressing basic attack again, Vivian will perform a forward thrust and restore flight feathers. After that skill, Vivian enters the fluttering frog state. With enough energy, Vivian can use her EX special attack to launch a powerful attack, dealing massive damage and recovering flight feathers. After the skill, entering the fluttering frog state.
Don't underestimate my parasol. Not only is it a perfect weapon against enemies on the battlefield, it also helps me maintain my balance.
Right. While in the fluttering frog state, Vivian attacks enemies from the air, consuming flight feathers and giving herself guard feathers.
Miss Vivian is elegant and fluid even on the battlefield.
Don't underestimate my sense of humor either.
Of course, when any squad mate hits an enemy with their EX special attack, Vivian consumes guard feathers and launches a feather bloom attack. This effect can activate when Vivian is off-field. When Vivian's feather bloom hits any enemy under an anomaly, it will result an extra instance of anomaly damage and inflict Vivian's prophecy. In that state, the enemy will take ether damage over time, and that damage can trigger an attribute anomaly. In addition, if there are other anomaly or ether characters in the squad, and a squad mate triggers an attribute anomaly, Vivian will consume guard feathers to launch feather bloom against the target. This will also increase the corruption damage and disorder damage from corruption for the whole team.
Miss Vivian is, as expected, exceptional in combat and lives up to the Mockingbird name.
In combat, bring in Vivian first, unleash her EX special attack to accumulate flight feathers, then, with enough decibels, unleash her ultimate, and Vivian will perform a finisher in an area centered around the enemy, recovering a large amount of flight feathers. Then, attack the enemy in the fluttering frog state to gain guard feathers. You can now switch to another character and use an EX special attack with Vivian's feather bloom attacks as support from off-field, triggering the additional effect on enemies with attribute anomaly.
Lord Phaethon, please trust in me. I'll protect you.